talked a lot about food deserts, food sovereignty here. And one of the key areas where there's a lot of innovation happening is at tribal nations. So many of you may have heard about the native green grow project happening on the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation out in western North Dakota. So this is a 38-acre greenhouse project that seeks to achieve food sovereignty for tribal members. And we're super excited to welcome Randy Lindemann, who is the lead architect. He is joining us virtually. So Randy, I hope you are here. Welcome, Randy.
I am.
Fargo. So, Randy, the floor is yours, and excited to learn more about the project.
Andrew, thank you, and thank you to Megan. And what a terrific experience so far. I've listened to the whole show and fascinating presentations. This is going to be a little bit different. I'm an architect involved. I'm not a grower or a farmer. But was asked by the 3 affiliated tribes, the MHA Nation, to help them organize a very, very large commercial greenhouse project that they've dubbed NG2, which stands for Native Green Grow. And I'm, by the way, standing in for Chairman Mark Fox, who's asked me to give this presentation on his behalf. So I'm going to do my very best to try to present the tribal aspect of it. The tribe had 13 million acres in their history based on the Land Act or executive orders in the late 1850s. It condensed their sovereign land from 13 million acres down to about 1 million acres. They were Aboriginal farmers. Chairman Fox tells me that that was a very large part of their economy in their history. To roll the clock quite a ways forward, the current Fort Berthold Indian Reservation is, like it says here, on about 1 million acres, 17,000 members or so, not all of them on the reservation. They organize themselves into what they call segments across the reservation. There are 6 segments, and then the tribal chairman is elected at large, so that's how they govern themselves. For those of you familiar with West Central North Dakota, the Lake Skakawea Reservoir kind of bisects the reservation in half from kind of northwest to southeast, so they've got a little bit of a challenge geographically. Like I said, their primary, in their history, their primary economy was cattle farming and agriculture. Most recently, with the PL 638 law, the Indian Self-Determination Act, government services, and then they've got a fairly robust and active gaming enterprise. As most of you know, or if you're familiar with North Dakota, the Fort Berthold Indian Reservation just happened to be sitting over the Bakken oil field. The production from the reservation itself is about 300,000 barrels of oil per day on the reservation. And they've got, this is a little bit dated, I think there's over 3,000 active wells now. So with all of that production, I don't know if many people have seen this slide. This is a nighttime satellite image of the 3 metro areas, Chicago, Minneapolis, and Denver, in the Midwest. And then you can see in the upper left-hand corner a nighttime shot of the Bakken oil field. What that is flare fires. So it's a little bit stunning and surprising, actually, when you see that much light pollution being caused. It gives you a sense of scale of just how much waste energy is being burned off. So the impetus for the project, the idea, and the tribe went to the Netherlands and did a bunch of research and discovered a process or a system by which, instead of flaring gas off in a flame tower, we could divert it into a refinery, process that gas that gets wasted or burned off into natural gas liquids, feed it into a device called a combined heat power engine to create power, electrical power, and heat, and then power the greenhouse. Chairman calls it seed to feed. I sometimes refer to it as flare to food, but you get the idea that they're turning waste energy into fruits and vegetables. The main idea behind it is food sovereignty. Again, in the tribe's history, they were independent ag farmers, and that was the basis of their economy. And the goal is to try to get back to that, back to the roots. And then, of course, generating jobs, the economic development, and the intertribal sales, which we can talk about at the end if you're interested. So the way it'll be done is in self-contained, climate-controlled greenhouses, glass boxes, basically. Like I said, they plan on growing fruits and vegetables, no cannabis, and then using waste energy to power the entire system. The tribe also enjoys what they call a WAPA allocation, a Western Area Power Association allocation from electrical power off the hydroelectric dam. And then as part of this initiative, they're also planning on developing what they call a gas transload and storage facility. So a quick introduction to the project itself. The project is located on the reservation near the city of Parshall, North Dakota. It's on a 40-acre greenfield site. We broke ground last April and leveled the site with a very large earthwork package. On the slide here shows the phases. Everything in yellow is phase one. Phase one greenhouse with the head house and fertigation storage areas. And there's also a standalone heating plant. And then in green and magenta here are phase two and phase three greenhouse growing chambers. Overall, the project itself will be 412,000 square feet of growing space. That's 3 hectares. And what did we figure? It's about a little bit over 7 football fields under glass, or 7.95, the face of your iPhone. It would take 7.95 million iPhones to cover the roof of this building. So a very, very large and complex project. So like I said, the facility has an on-site heating plant, which stores 2 very large CHPs, or combined heat power engines. It's the largest system that Cummins makes. We've got one that's already built and is on its way to the site here in about a month. The gas transload and storage facility is basically backup power. So as they refine the waste gas and turn it into natural gas liquids, the plan is to store it on site and use it as backup fuel in case power goes down, things like that. And then ultimately, like I said, there will be a refinery located right on the site. It's got a couple of really interesting and difficult engineering challenges. In fact, there are 19 engineers on the design team from all over the world. One of the ideas is to capture snow and rain water off the roof, pump that into holding ponds, filter it, and bring it back up into the greenhouse to assist with growing the vegetables. And we're also capturing the exhaust gases off the CHP, the combined heat power engines. We're scrubbing the exhaust gases with a device called the SCR, Selective Catalytic Reduction System, and then using the CO2 from that exhaust to also assist in the growing operation. Amazingly enough, the exhaust out of the CHP is only water vapor. In fact, we just got notification from EPA that even though it's a very, very large operation, we were able to achieve what they call their minor source of pollutants. So interesting engineering challenge. Like I said, just to kind of round out, the basic numbers of the facility. 3 hectares of growing chambers. There are 6 different chambers, some 3 of the chambers will be vine crops, 9 meters high, so just about 30 feet of vertical vine crops. The other 3 chambers will be nutrient film technique, to grow vegetables and leafy greens. And then there's, an assortment of supporting spaces. There's about 12,000 square feet of head house, warehouse. It's going to have a very fun, kind of county fair, state fair style farm stand and produce sales component to it. And then, of course, the offices and the separate heating plant. So, Andrew, I guess that's what I can tell you about the NG2 project. It's under construction, and we believe if we're on schedule, the first vegetable will be spit out the back door sometime in November of 2022.
Wow, quite a project, Randy. Thank you all so much. Can you all please join me in thanking Randy for joining us today?